What's up, everybody? We back. Another R2C2. Another week. We've been keeping it going, during this tough time.
We're not hard to find right now.
I am. I'm still fucking hard to find. Believe that.
You're still finding a way to ghost people.
Oh yeah, I can ghost easily. I'm still hard to find.
Have you noticed that there is people now all of a sudden they only want to FaceTime or video call or whatever, and it's yeah, but if you do this all the time now, I'm busier than I was. We got to limit it a little bit.
It's a lot of requests, so it's a lot of it's a lot of ghosting going on still. So it's all good.
But we are able to record consistently here with R2C2 safe at home, and we certainly hope all of you are staying home, being smart, staying healthy, keeping your distance. We're flattening the curve here in New York because people are being smart and listening, and because we've been able to record regularly. See, it gives us an opportunity to catch up with some other people who are stuck at their homes, like your old buddy from 2009 and beyond. But of course, 2009 is the year we cherish most. AJ Burnett joining us. AJ, welcome to R2C2, man. Yeah, that shirt. There's the shirt. AJ holding up the Stay the F Home shirt.
Yeah. Every time I see CC, he's in the same spot, too, in that couch with that aquarium behind him. So, what's going on, everybody? Good to see y'all. Good to hear your voices.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Normal life for me. I'll leave the gate. You know that. But it's different. It's crazy, man. Kids are getting a little stir crazy, but we're doing it. We're ping ponging it and gaming and playing catch and playing hoop and all that. So we're staying busy.
Love it.
How old are your kids now, AJ?
19, 16.
Ooh, all right. Nice. And which one's the one who's always playing basketball?
That's AJ Jr. Yeah. If I could just stretch him out about 6 inches maybe, put him on about 40 pounds on him, I think he could compete.
Nice.
But no, he loves it. He's got basketball in his hand every day. I mean, we got to pop a shot.
What grade is
Ashton's
Ashton
10th grade, 10th, driving. Nice. Karen takes him out in this mess just to get him, got to get his hours in still somehow.
Yeah.
He ain't driving my dually. He don't want no part of that. So Karen takes him out to drive.
Yeah,
he's doing good too.
I've been taking Lil C out to drive, and it's stressful. It's really stressful riding with a teenager, and I just want to grab. I wish I had in the student driver's car, the extra steering wheel. I need the gas and brake tool on my side. I need the brake.
Big time the brake. He don't stop until he's right up on you.
Man,
I couldn't imagine, man. I guess our parents did the same thing. I can remember my dad taught me how to drive. It was not fun.
It's not fun, yeah.
It was, for me, it was a stick. So I imagine the same thing, They're always like,
you learn how to drive with a stick?
Man, can you relax? No, they don't want no part of the stick. Nope.
But you did, though, right?
That's what I learned on, yeah.
Yeah, me too, and it was terrible. It was literally the worst.
It was the worst, 4 hours in the parking lot, and Bill was just cussing me out left and right.
Oh, that's tremendous. I think back now, and I'm 16 really, it's super young, to be driving. When I was first driving, I remember just thinking oh, you know what? It's easier to stay within the lines than I thought. And I'm what the fuck? How am I even having that thought?
It's easier to drive with your parents not in the car, for sure.
It's way easier to drive without your parents.
That was pressure. And I remember, oh my gosh, yeah, same. I remember my mom always no, you're too close. You're too close. I'm Mom, but man, I'm glad I haven't had to go through it as the parent yet. That's got to be nerve-wracking.
Yeah, just wait, bro. It's nerve-wracking for sure.
Oh, man.
It is.
AJ, are you a gamer yourself with your kids gaming?
I am. I don't play with them because I can't compete with them anymore. I think I was talking to C about this a couple years ago. I asked him if he still was gaming. He's like, I can't beat nobody. I can't beat these kids anymore. So I don't, and it's I play with my buddies from back home. You remember Chris, CC, a few other guys that stay in touch, a group of us, a couple of times a week. But I can't play with them. I can't compete.
Yo, I'm telling you, we used to bring a flat screen on the road. I had a trainer's box. That they keep all their stuff in.
Trainer's box.
Huge box. And we put the flat screen in there with the PlayStation and everything.
It reminds me of that first trip that we took. You remember when we had to fly early?
Yes,
you're pitching, and Joe's like, hey, AJ, I think you should go with CC. And I was like, he wants me to go. I ain't even pitching. He's like, just go with CC. And here comes this big gaming trunk. And I was like, I'm going with CC. We're going to be just fine, Joe. Just fine.
Oh, that's
But
great.
it was legit setup for sure, man.
It was fun, man. I can say I used to be a gamer. I'm definitely not anymore. I can't even beat Carter in a video game right now, bro. It's sad.
Oh, man. Well, but Carter's kind of like a little genius kid, man.
Nah, he is. He's a gamer. Like he really is. Like he's up there right now. School just got out about an hour ago, and he's like lit right now up there playing Fortnite like crazy.
That's Ashton in the basement. I'm on the Xbox. Like, we used to play PlayStation. Ashton's computer. Dual screen up there, one here. And I'm like,
jeez, man. Oh,
you win, man. You win.
Yeah. How do you keep
it.
up? It does feel like, though, it's fun. I used to play Madden. My roommate in college, we used to do 7-game series where like winning one 7-game series was considered one win. So we do a 7-game series of a 7-game series. We just play all night. Then at some point, man, I lost it. And I haven't played video games now. Like growing up, I played nonstop. Now I haven't played in like 8 years. And I'm like, this is the time where you're like, oh, I should have held on to it. Because like if you're ever, right? Like if you ever, I don't know, are your kids even, like, are they feeling restricted because of this? Or because they're gamers, does it feel like almost like this weird vacation of sorts?
I can tell you mine. I know Carter is loving this. Like if we never leave this house and he just played Fortnite and whatever other game he played.
Him and Ashton need to get together and go bowling.
Yeah, like he's good. Like Lil C's going a little stir crazy. Like, he play catch in the backyard, shoot some shots or whatever. But like Carter is literally good with a headset and a video, like in a controller in his hand. He's all good.
Same here. Ashton basement. I see him lunch and dinner. No breakfast because he's sleeping till 1, then he's downstairs, and then I think AJ misses his buddies. He had a crew around here that he hung out with, that he graduated with, but besides like hanging out with his friends, I think he's doing all right too. He's working out and playing hoops like you said, but yeah, Ashton, he's in heaven.
So last night I told Carter, I was like, because they're in school, so they have to be up on the computer at 8:30. I'm like, dude, at 9:30, turn the game off. You got to take a shower, get ready for bed like it's a school night. 12:30, I hear him in there going crazy.
Yelling,
because
right?
I forgot to go check on him, you know what I'm saying? And he's down there screaming. Okay? He's yelling at his brother to land. All I hear him say is, land, land, land. I'm like, who is that? And it's 12:30 right now. And he was still up, bro, like in it. Lights on, same clothes on, like in the morning, but just lit up from the game. I'm like, what is going on right now?
That is hilarious, man.
They're loving it, man. They're loving it. That's great.
AJ, you're in Maryland, and for those who are, right now we've been doing video episodes for each one, so some people are watching this on YouTube on Uninterrupted's page. Other people are listening, just to the podcast, but just to set the scene, AJ has this awesome wall behind him of like all these different pictures from his time with the Yankees, his World Series nameplate from his locker. What's the ball that you have there in the home plate frame?
That's Mario. That's 500 safe.
Wow. Is it nice, man? Very cool from Rivera. Very cool.
I got a little bit of everything, man. I got everything.
But that picture from the first welcome home dinner is classic, bro. I love that.
That's one of my favorites. I know. Hang on, this is one I got to show you real quick, dog. This is one of my favorites too. Y'all can see this one. Y'all see that with the glare?
Oh my god, that is hilarious. So for our for those just listening, it's a picture of. Is that who the other one is? Sergio Mitre?
That's Mitre, yeah.
So it's a picture of Sergio Mitre, Jabba, Cece, Andy, and AJ's heads all on baby bodies.
Oh, man, that's great. He's got everything. You got every picture, bro.
I got, dude, this room's full, man. It's
wow.
Everything I've ever collected.
It's awesome.
Everything I've collected, everything fans have sent, as far as like, Chad Bowling's brother had that painting drawn. Yeah. So I got that up right underneath our signing pictures, and it just goes to Pittsburgh, and before that it's Toronto and Florida.
Oh, that's dope.
Now, the picture you were talking about, is one where Andy is sitting down as you told us before we went on air, like the Godfather.
Yeah.
And you have the other 4 starters, yourself and AJ included, around him with like a hand on his shoulder.
Got a hand on his shoulder.
How did this picture come about, man? Because it's a great shot.
I think AJ, we were just in the back, and they were taking pictures of us, like, before we went.
This
banquet.
Is the first.
First welcome home dinner that me and AJ ever went to. And we're sitting in the back, and AJ was like, man, we got to get because we went to dinner as starters. We went to basketball games, like that whole spring training. We hung out just as starters. And AJ was like, we got to get a picture. And we made Andy sit down. He didn't want to do it. We made him sit down like the Godfather. But we made him do it, and it turned out to be a really, really dope picture, man. So that's cool. I got to get a copy of that. That's
yeah, I can get you one. It's probably one of my favorite ones, man. That just being next to him, I know I had Jeet on the other side of me, but I had a locker in between with 48 pairs of Jordans. But but I had Andy next to me, and it was really, it was really cool to have him next to me those 3 years I was there, man. It's a good cat right there.
What'd you learn most from Andy, AJ?
Not to watch videos of my strikeouts the day I pitched.
Really? Why was that?
Because I got lit up my first time I did it. So I used to have videos made of my third strikes because I wasn't really a video guy, but when I went to watch video, it was me succeeding. I didn't ever want to watch anything I just lived it. I know what happened. I left something up. I didn't execute, but I want to go see myself doing good. So before the game, I had a highlight video of 08, the year before I came to the Yankees. And remember, CC, we had those little computers on our lockers?
Yep.
Well, I was just playing that while I was getting my shoes on. I'm getting, dressed and everything. And Andy scoots over. He's like, what you watching? And you know me, I'm like,
not talking.
I'm watching my strikeouts, man. He goes, oh, okay. Slid back over. And so, I don't remember how I did. I just remember the next day he's like, you're not watching them anymore. I'm like, no, it didn't work, Andy. It didn't work. He's like, it's probably a good idea.
Well, you know what?
Just being pro, man, and work ethic. I was lucky to be around Doc. He had an incredible work ethic. However, Andy was much older than Doc, and he's still out there, way before any of us, doing his little drills on the warning track, and I think I did it with him one day, and it was the only day I did it with him because I was just beat. I was like, wanting to go to bed by the 6th inning of the game. I don't know how he did it, but to be consistent with his routine, that's what you learn from guys like that.
Man, I remember when I first came to the Yankees, I was like, I had already had a couple knee surgeries, so I was in that I don't run mode, like coming from the Indians. And the very first day, Andy and Mo out there on the track running poles, I'm like, fuck, this is what we gotta do. So the next day, I'm out there early with Andy and Mo running poles, you just follow whatever
little
they
side
do.
shuffles and all the things they did, 30 minutes of work, and I'm like, I got a bullpen, y'all.
What's interesting about you saying that with the strikeouts, AJ, is it reminds me a little bit of what you've told me in the past about the videos you would watch before, you go out over the last couple of years at least, where you said you didn't want to see strikeouts necessarily. You wanted to see executing
balls,
on a ground ball.
Plays.
Yeah.
But that came from Tite. That came from Andy. You want to just see yourself executing, and you want to see yourself, not so much, striking everybody out all the time, but just making pitches to get out of innings. That was always my biggest thing when I first got to the Yankees was, making that one pitch to get out of the inning, whether it was a double play or if I had runners on second and third and I get 2 strikeouts and then I give up a double. You know what I'm saying? So it was always for me just trying to execute at the end and make those pitches to get out of the inning.
Did AJ, when you and C end up having the press conference together, would you guys?
Well, I forced that.
Did you? Oh, tell us the story.
I begged him the night before, 2 nights before, to do the press conference. I was like, I wanted no part of it, doing it by myself.
Yeah.
I had just signed this huge contract. I'm coming to New York. Everybody thinks I don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? And and me and AJ flew in together. I'm like, dog, you have to do the press conference. We only really knew each other through Cliff and his agent at the time. And I was like, dog, you got to do this press conference with me because I'm terrified.
Which I'm glad he did because I was in the same boat. Good, dude. Good.
I think that might have been the last press conference at the old stadium.
Yeah.
Right, because when Tex did his was in the new stadium. I think
his is in the new one. We did the press conference at the old stadium. Then we walked across and toured and got to see the inside and everything. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we were the last ones to do it. But it was only because I begged AJ to do it with me.
That's funny. Did you guys did it? Because I think this is something you've talked about before. But what did it do for you, or how did it lighten the load that you were coming in with another, big gun starting pitcher who was also coming in on a big free agent deal?
Yeah, it really lightened the load for me. Just his personality too, like the pies and having fun and taking the starters out and that kind of started in spring training, but it started with AJ. And I just kind of piggybacked on, and we were able to change the culture a little bit. But it was a huge help to have him coming in, to have Tex coming in. We had just traded for Swish. So it was, he wasn't coming in I kind of feel sorry for Garrett because he's coming in right now by himself on this huge deal.
He can handle it, man. He can handle it.
He definitely can, but I'm just saying.
You've been around him.
It's a lot different than when me and you showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Sure it is. 100% it is. I think it was big. I mean, I couldn't imagine going there without any of you guys, to be honest with you. Just the way it all fit, the way we all just got along from – like you said, we didn't really know each other. I just knew I saw somebody come from Milwaukee who basically told the whole National League to STFD the entire, So I was like, this is awesome, bro. Too bad he's left-handed, man. I can't pitch like him, but I can learn some, shit from him. And then, like you said, Tex came along, and then we traded for Swiss, but we just, like you said, we clicked in there, and we all just made it work, somehow. And it was fun to be a part of, man.
Now, we'll get beyond 09, but AJ, I got to take you back because if I think, if there was a Family Feud answer from Yankee fans or people in the organization for what was the most important game throughout that run, they would go to Game 2 of the World Series. You guys are down 1-0, and you throw an absolute gem, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, and you guys win Game 2, even up the series, and obviously go on to take a 3-1 lead and then win the World Series in Game 6. When you think back to that game at Yankee Stadium and those stakes, what's the thing that you remember that's the first thing you think about from that night?
I wish I could have went 3 more outs and went 8. I was so mad and happy at the same time. But you got Mo coming in. What are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? It's funny. It by far was the highlight of my career. I feel highlight of my career. But it was funny because I went on the other day with Susan and John, and they're asking me about Game 2 of the DLCS, right? And they're asking me these questions. I mean, all I remember is Game 2 of the World Series. Okay? I had to go back and look up and what are they talking about? I'm like, oh yeah, that play. Oh yeah, that. I had to watch it again. They had it on live on the radio, so I actually listened to it afterwards so I could remember some of the stuff that they were talking about. I mean, all I remember from that game is that Alex went deep in the 9th, and we were down 3-1. But I couldn't tell you who I pitched against or how I did, and couldn't tell you. But Game 2, that was fun, man. It was just, I try to tell everybody it was just a weird night for me, and even the night before, I get nervous, I get butterflies like everybody else. I just didn't that day. I didn't the night before, and I don't know. I couldn't tell you why to this day. I remember walking out of the clubhouse. AJ was 6 at the time. And, my kids are 6 and 4, and they're sad. They don't know why they're sad, but they're sad. We lost. And I just remember picking them up and saying, hey, Daddy's got this. And we just went to the car, and it was kind of like that all the next day. It was, I pitched with the Pirates, and then my other games in the playoffs with New York, and I was nervous. I was, but that day, for some reason, I had, Leisha playing in right field. I was jamming and warming up. What could go wrong, right? Playing our theme song, New York. I'm like, right. This is gonna be great. But I just want to go out and do good, man. I know our boy. You're friends with Cliffy. He's Little Rock. He's an Arkansas boy.
He was locked in that night before too.
One of my friends, right? And I was just like, okay. can't let him one up me. We're both from Arkansas. I got to go in there and do something. But yeah, he was locked in. That was a joke. I mean, I believe it was 10 Ks, no walks, right?
Yeah,
Something
10 Ks,
like that,
no
right?
walks, and it was weird for me because we had just been teammates the year before, and we hung out all the time, and me and Cliff were close. Like we really hung out all the time. And then the next year we starting against each other in the game 1 of the World Series. Like the shit was wild, man. You know what I remember about you in that night before? I remember I was always talking to you about what it's like to have a ring and blah, 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 blah. But you kept telling me, you was like, I don't feel like that's my ring because you was hurt, I guess, or whatever in
Florida.
In Florida. So I just remember like thinking like he is going to deal in the playoffs. Like he's going to be locked in. So I had no worries that you were going to go out and do what you did in game 2, like just because you were so locked in and determined to, get that ring.
I mean, that's why we went there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Should have got 2 more, man.
We definitely should have, man.
You know what's funny is like, because I can remember after that whole time, that whole season, basically, I want to say from when you guys really got it together in the middle of the summer to through the end of the regular season, and then through the DS and CS, the whole time I knew you're going to win the World Series. Like, I know this team's going to win the World Series. And when you lost game 1, it was the first time that I thought, like, wait, the Phillies are really good. Like, could they actually maybe not win the World Series? Yeah. And then when you dealt that night, AJ, it kind of brought the season back on its equilibrium that it had been on. And, what was interesting about it that year is like, all right, so you kept having game 2, and every game 2 you dealt, and obviously you kept going out in game 1, and Andy would have game 3. You were the 3 starters. The whole, you guys were pitching on 3 days rest. Like, what was the kind of I don't know if it was like the physical toll or the mental toll or the camaraderie of the fact that you guys knew it was just going to be you 3, and that's it, going at it, trying to deliver.
I was glad because there wasn't no bullpens.
For sure. I don't
Save
think
them bullets, man.
Yeah. I don't think it was like a toll. I think that we collectively like just leaned on each other. Like if I went out and had a bad game like I did in game 1, I knew he was going to pitch good. We knew Andy was going to deal. Like we knew he was going to go out and win that third game. You know what I'm saying? So it just gave you the confidence that we all had each other's back, to be honest. Like, Andy pitched every one of the clinchers in that whole postseason, and we wouldn't want anybody else on the mound besides him. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was just all of our camaraderie together and just kind of leaning on each other to really get us through, to be honest.
I think it was a no-brainer. I think they asked us, and we were just all 3 like, yep. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. No questions. Let's go.
I remember Gino saying, y'all pitching on 3 days rest? I'm like, hell yeah. What are you talking about? Get me ready, Gino.
I mean, and the thing is, you guys were going deep into these games too, like it wasn't like you were saying, AJ, all right, rest the pen. It's not like you were, pitching on 3 days rest and you guys are only getting 12 outs like we might see in today's game. You guys are going out there and, I mean, you were pitching 7-8 innings every single start, but AJ, you and Andy are you're either pitching into the 7th, through the 7th, into the 6th, through the 6th. Yep. It's not like they were short starts as you guys were going through that.
That's what we're supposed to do, man. You're supposed to take the ball, and I would have, I'm glad I got to go deep in them games, Wish I would have went 8 into the game too, but
he's still thinking about having Mo come in.
That's in my head. I'm going to have to call Mo back and be like, man, can you give me 3 of them outs back, Mo, please? Man. But it's to be able to last, I don't think I was tired. I mean, I know you weren't and Andy wasn't, but and you get that momentum from the postseason, gives that little boost too at the end of the year for sure. But I think we just all wanted the ball so bad that you couldn't have got away from us.
This brings up an interesting point, though, AJ, because you've always been great to me. We've done some fun feature shoots. I love you, and I think you have a wonderful personality. However, I also believe when you're in the midst of fierce competition, you could be a scary dude. So what I want to know,
see, we can just talk about this.
What I want to know is, what is it like when a manager's going to take the ball from you and you're not ready to come out? What's that conversation like?
It's probably a lot nicer than when a pitching coach comes out. Yeah. Probably. That's what, we and CC was talking about this the other day. He was talking about how, he didn't want to ever talk to me, the day I pitched. And I was like, well, you're probably the only person that could have got away with it, so.
I always felt like I had something to tell you the day he pitched, too. Like, the day he pitched, it was like the greatest news I always had to tell him. And I'm like, shit, he's pitching today.
I can't talk to him this day. I mean, I felt like I wish I could have been more relaxed, like I admire you for that, man. And I know I've told you that before. To be as relaxed and laid back as you were in that stage for as long as you did it, man, I mean, that's impressive to see. Yeah. And I played with other people, too. Doc was serious. He wasn't like me, but some other guys that were loose, too. I couldn't do it, Like, I think I tried it a few times, and it just, I don't know. I felt like I never got to where I needed to be come game time when I was that relaxed. So I had to be it, but I would say a pitching coach would be a little bit more worried than the manager, especially poor Ray in Pittsburgh. Man, he'd come to because he didn't want to come out. He'd be like, no, and Clint's like, go, and he's like, no. Clint's like, go. So he comes out there and he's like, I had to come. I'm like, well, go. He's like, all right, bye. He just rolls out. And I remember Arnie came out one time with Doc too, and like in Boston, and he was dealing, right, and had a few, like one or two bad hitters, and then like Gibby sent Arnie out, and Arnie's like, I ain't going, man. And Gibby's like, you need to go and just make sure he's all right. He's like, it's Roy Halladay, he's okay. Anyway, he had to go out there, and then boom, tank, and Arnie come back to dugout, and he just was like, I'm ever going out there again? And I think Doc told him too. He's like, don't ever come out there unless I would say, hey, come out here.
Was Doc real serious on the day that he pitched, like the day before? I mean, leading up to it?
Yeah, I'm just going to clarify for the audience in case they don't know. Doc is Roy Halladay.
Yeah,
Roy Halladay is Doc. So go ahead,
He
AJ.
was, probably. He had about 30, 45 minutes when he got the yard, started changing, and had a little smile on his face, and that went away pretty quick. He was just so routine-based, that he just, you never really saw him until he, it was like Superman. Like, he came in, he's getting undressed, he says hi to everybody, and then he's walking out to pitch. And you just like you said, like, nobody said hey, nobody, just move to the side and let him walk through. I think that was just a respect thing with him, like everybody just respected the fact that his routine got him so locked in that nobody wanted to take a chance at just, anything. I guess in the same way they're scared, I don't want to mess with Doc. I didn't either. I'm glad I got a chance to in between starts. That was the best part. Yeah. He's so serious all the time, like even watching the games, and he'd sit like this all the time, and I just knock his elbow out, like, grow up, AJ, grow up, right back to it, and then I'm trying to get all the other guys to do it, and they're like, I ain't doing that all the time. That's one thing that he told me that I came out that last game before I came to New York, and I just walked up to him. I kind of knew at the time that I wasn't planning. Maybe, I don't know, it was up in the air. But I walked up to him and I was like, hey, I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Just want to tell you that right now. It was a good moment. I came out after shoving against the Yankees again. And he looked at me and he was like, no, I want to thank you, man, for everything you did for me. And I was, just like, what could I possibly have done for Roy Halladay? So I asked him, I was like, what's that, Doc? He's like, man, you made me smile and relax in between my starts, and I haven't done that in a long time. And I was like, you know what?
That's so cool.
I'll take it, Roy. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. And the last thing about him, when he won his 20th that year, and I had 18, we both had 18 with 3 starts left, and he got it and I didn't. And we went out there for the 20th, and I gave him a big hug, and the first thing out of his mouth was, you should have got it before me. Like, that's the only thing he said. And I was like, who says that right now? He's got 20 right now, and you look at me and it's like, you should. And I was like, man, this guy's something else.
I got a chance to spend some time with him on the Nike trip, and he was completely opposite. Like, goofing around, funny, talking all the time, smiling. And I guess that was just his time to cut loose. You know what I'm saying? Him and his wife, Brandy, were super cool. When he wasn't pitching or locked in, man, he was just hilarious. One of the goofballs, like you said, prankster, big prankster. Don't mess with him.
But yeah, he was something else on game day, man. So the same way, I may have learned a little bit from him from that regard.
Man, it is. I mean, it's still crazy that he's gone. But you look at the seasons he had. He was just such a force for a long time.
Oh, no, he's the best pitcher of our generation. I mean, hands down, easily.
Wow.
Of our generation, the time of the guys that I pitched against or competed against, he was the best pitcher of our generation for sure.
We used to sit in the dugout and be like, "What's he gonna do tonight?"
Yeah,
like what's he gonna like? Don't get me wrong. I say I loved watching you pitch. Couldn't wait for you. I had some other guys that I played with. I couldn't wait to watch pitch. Exciting, but it's different with him. Like you said, it was like I'm watching. I get a chance to watch this dude 35 times this year. Sick.
Man, he was cutting it and sinking it on both sides of the plate at 96, 97. Like,
and you know what?
He was in complete control of game.
Complete, and he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that because when I first got there, he was cutter, glove side, sinker, arm side, and then Rod came along, Brawhaus, and he was like, "Why don't you do both to both?" And Roy was like, "I don't want to leave anything over the plate." And he's like, "Man, you're Roy Halladay. You don't leave anything over the plate." And that's when he started doing what you're talking about. See, it's cutting and sinking, and it was just like
it was unreal,
unhittable. I thought I had a good hook.
It was just like you never knew what was coming. Like, and if it was hard, it wasn't straight. So it was like, just watching the pitch from the other side, you go out there and like, fuck, man, we gonna get 3 hits today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, G's probably gonna hit a single. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we getting 3 fucking hits. Nobody's squaring the ball up. Like, it's crazy, man.
Man, you know what's funny about that? Like, I remember as a fan watching those games, and I literally, like, for me, Yankee success against Roy Halladay was just about increasing the pitch count. That's it. Like, I'm watching each inning, and I'm not thinking, like, there's no chance you're scoring more than a run or two, And so it's like, can you just get him out of there before the 7th? That's the only way. And he was so efficient that it was hard because he.
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't miss. Right.
Yeah. Exactly, man.
I'm so glad we never had to play against him like as a Yankee in a real big game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't pitch in the playoffs until he went to Philly. To Philly. Hit it the first game.
And I called that in the locker room, remember?
Yeah, you did.
I was walking through there, and I'm like, you watch this, y'all. He going to throw no, watch.
Wow, really? You knew it?
I was joking around at the time, but I was half serious, Yeah. I'm like, watch this. He's been waiting a long time for this. Watch.
Man.
Yeah. I'll be dang, man. We're in Minnesota, I think.
We're in Minnesota.
Yeah, Cy Young in the National and the American League. Like, some of his years, like 19-7 with a sub-3, 22-7 with a 3.25, 16-5 with a 3.19, 12-4, 2.41, 20-11 with a 2.78.
Yeah, how many of those are in the AL East? Too?
That's what I was about to say. He's in the AL East doing this.
Yes.
He's in the AL East doing that.
Crazy, man. His career numbers are incredible, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer. It makes sense. How about it's interesting to me because I feel like you were always the guy who could say anything to anybody. So hearing you even say like that, you were like, I can't talk to AJ on the day he pitches. Like, so did you actually refrain, or would you go through with what you had to say anyway?
It kind of depended on what was going on. Like, if it was something like that I felt was funny. That I was saying to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it couldn't be anything serious because that shit could wait. But if it was like Jabba doing some crazy shit or Phil doing something funny or Gardy fucking around, like, I would say it to him. You know what I'm saying? Just so he could be in on it. But like, if it was anything serious, no, I wouldn't say anything. I didn't talk to Andy the day he pitched either, though. I let him talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't never in like a serious mode, but you just didn't talk to him until he talked to you.
Makes sense. I remember seeing one time a reporter go up to Andy, and Andy was always so polite and so kind, and a reporter went up to Andy the day he was pitching and starts asking him a question, whatever, and Andy is trying not to be a jerk, and he's like, did you see the lineup today? And the reporter's like, no, what about the lineup? And he goes, well, did you see the lineup? He goes, yeah, no, I saw the lineup, but what about the lineup? He's like, why don't you look at the lineup? And like the guy, oh, I'm so sorry. And Andy just kind of like turns back around, and that was it, you know?
That was the only thing that was bad about me being loose on the days that I pitched. Like me hanging around, talking shit in the clubhouse, running around, doing whatever. Everybody, all the reporters would come up to me on the day that I pitched. And that was the only time I would get mad. Like, like I'm hanging out with my teammates. I don't want to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
The rule still applies to you guys. It just doesn't apply to them.
I'm fine with everybody else. But like, I don't want to answer fucking questions about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, AJ, what do you think of the fish tank behind CC as he records here in his? What are you in your living room? C?
I mean, this is my spot. This is where I sit all the time.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I was jealous of that when he got it.
Yeah.
I remember I tried to come back here to Maryland and build one and put a bass in it and see if but I never found a spot to do it.
Well, hey, man, you have a sprawling estate there, right? Or farm or whatever you got going on. You could put
It was a horse farm. It was when I first purchased it, but I ain't in on no horses, man.
Yeah, but now you got the trails and stuff for the four-wheelers, right?
Yeah,
you got trails and stuff everywhere?
Yeah, I bought a Kubota. I got trails going everywhere. I got big old bounty mud holes, and I usually have 4 or 5 guys around the neighborhood come over every so often, and obviously not lately, but they'll come over. They each have their little quad or whatever. I actually only have one quad now. I'm into the side by sides because my old ass.
Really?
So I'm sitting down and driving now. Yeah, that beat you up, the quads. But I still got I'm down there, and it's turned out to be an awesome hobby, man. Like I couldn't tell you how to clean or where a carburetor was when we played, but now I'm down there building these machines, and it's cool, man. It's been something that's gave me something to do when Care Bear needs me to get out. You know what I mean?
You go to the shop. I love it.
And I was just, can you please go to the shop? I'm like, I just got back from the shop. Can you please go to the shop? All right.
That's great. AJ, what has post-retirement been like for you? Obviously, this is C's first season without baseball. Of course, nobody has it right now, but it was due to be C's without it. What's been, you retired in, what was it, after 2015?
It was 15, yeah.
Yeah. What's retirement been like for you?
First couple years was I didn't know if I made the right choice because I felt like I could still play. And I was a little beat up after 15 elbow-wise, but not too bad. But it was rough the first year. Not like just, hey, should I go back? Hey, should I get in shape? Should I try to, I didn't want to be one of those guys that left the game and then came back. When I'm going to be done, I'm done. And then I just got to the point where I was like, I got nothing else to prove. Man, I went 17 years. I got most innings after anybody with Tommy John. That's kind of my story. 03 was when I had my surgery, and I logged, 14, 15 plus seasons after that. Yeah. But now it's cool, man. I pay attention, but I don't watch a lot. I follow the guys that I'm a fan. I'm a fan now. Well, I was when I played too. I don't mean to say now, but I keep in touch with those guys and really watch the guys that I really enjoyed watching when I played. Many left. They're all like 20, 21, and young kids now. But postseason, don't miss anything. Watch that all the time, and in the morning, I'll watch some MLB, but been wanting to maybe get back in it. No time soon, though. No time soon. I know C was trying to drag me to Old Timers game. I was like,
come on, AJ.
Well, I got to now because he's retired. I said, I'll do it when you retire, man. But I'm like, they send me that shit at 39 years old. I'm like, Old Timers game. But they, if you're not playing anymore, you're part of that, which is cool. So, we got to get out there when it gets back. I'm looking forward to that.
I feel like your first, I want to say it was your second spring training with the Yankees, AJ. It might have been the first. We did a shoot down in Tampa fishing. I don't know if you remember. You're not expected to, but we went out
didn't
fishing.
Catch a thing.
Yeah,
you
didn't catch a thing. I went out with AJ. We did a shoot, and it was so funny because AJ couldn't have been better. It was great. He was awesome. And at the end, as we get back in the house and we're about to leave, he's like, all right, you guys need to effing leave now. And he says it dead serious. And I'm like, wait, is he serious? And then he pokes his head around the corner. He's like, I got you. And he's like, no, seriously,
I catch
leave.
9 or 10, 12 bass a day there. I didn't catch a damn fish when they were on my boat. I was like, y'all need to go so I can.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I went out. This is who I started going out fishing with.
I was going to ask you, was
Tampa.
AJ the one who got you into it?
Yeah, for sure. AJ, when we first got there in 2009, he had the place down on the St. Pete side, and we would go over, and that's where I started. That's really where I started fishing all the time in spring training was with AJ.
That's when we had Robertson pull that alligator gar out of the boat.
Yeah,
man.
he did.
What's this dude doing, man? With his right hand, too. With his right hand. Hey, AJ, look what I got, man. Thing's got fucking teeth. D-Rob.
An alligator?
Yeah. Alligator gar.
Alligator gar, yeah. It's a fish with teeth.
Jeez.
Long, skinny thing. And they met me there. Like, we get the young kids out and take them fishing, too. I forgot who else would go.
Jabba would come with us a couple times.
Jabba would, but my boat would be Gardy. You know, I think Bruni and Switch even went a couple times, I think.
Bruni
you know?
and Switch came too, yeah, for sure. Could you
but
ever
my boat
imagine what Gardy turned into, like, as a player? Like when we knew, like, you know, when he was young, it was just like, he was the
I wish I
prankster.
could have seen it, bro. I wish I could. He looks so angry all the time.
You should see him now. No, he got the red ass all the. He's like, oh man, it's hilarious to watch him.
And he was
man.
that one that gave us the red ass all the time, too.
Yes, he was.
even when he was young.
Yes, man.
Wow,
Gardy was
man.
a pest, and he would always just
annoy
get
and
shit
nag,
going.
annoy and nag. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. All on the planes, man. It was nonstop.
Oh man, that's so.
Because it was CC, me, and then Guardian, and I think Husey was behind me. So
And
those two
D-Rob
guys
would sit across from Gardy, and they would just go
That's who
at
it was.
it
That's who it was.
all day. Like, literally the whole flight, it would be those two arguing about shit.
That's great. I mean, Hughes was on with us last week, and he was telling us the stories of Gardy on the plane when you're in tough turbulence, saying to D-Rob, who isn't a good flyer, like, hey, D-Rob, who's going to play you when the movie comes out? Like,
nonstop. He would. I think we got too much luggage, D-Rob. I think we got too much luggage on this plane. Ted, he was a good prankster.
Ted Lilly was.
Ted Lilly.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was. I mean, I deserved every bit of it, but.
You know what's funny? I
wouldn't-
never would have guessed that because he was so
Straight.
expressionless.
Yeah.
Like
Teddy was. God, especially that fight him and Gibby had. Like,
Oh, I remember that. I remember watching that.
they used to run in the outfield every day, like they're best buddies. And then they go down and throw haymakers, and then they're out running the outfield the next day. Like, what like, what's going on? You know, Teddy's like dealing, like we're up like, I don't know, 10-2 against Oakland. And the next thing you know, Teddy's dropping down, throwing knuckleballs from the side, and it's 10-8 in a matter of like 30 minutes, same inning. Gibby runs out there, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to, they're hitting everything, so I'm trying to make up some more stuff, and then they just beeline to the beeline.
They ran down the tunnel. I remember that.
And then we all ran down a tunnel, and the next day they're out in the outfield. Running next to each other. Buddy just had to get it out, I guess,
Oh my gosh, that's funny, man. Do you remember the homer Bonds hit off Lilly at Yankee Stadium? It was like it was
that one of his glove tosses?
That was
the glove tosses were in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay, yeah.
where he'd throw the glove after giving up a bomb.
Oh,
Yeah.
as soon as it hits.
As soon as they hit it, he'd take his glove off and throw it. Larry was his pitching coach when that was happening.
Oh man.
Oh, that's right. He
funny.
told us a story about that when he was bound and determined to get the ball into somebody. Like this dude was like 3 for 4 off of them at 3 tanks already, all down in heaters. So like during the pitchers meeting, remember Larry was talking to us about it. He was like, Teddy, and Teddy's like, no, I'm going to go in. I'm going to beat him in. He tried to go in again and whack.
Oh my
Glove came off. But no, I don't remember that homer. Bonds hit. God,
He hit one. So it was. I don't know. It might have been his only home run ever at Yankee Stadium.
Now, he hit one off Clemens, too. Remember, Bonds hit one off Clemens.
No, Clemens drilled him. But I don't think, did he take Clemens deep as well?
I'm pretty sure he did.
At Yankee Stadium? I
Was
remember.
Teddy's the one that went third deck way up?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
yeah.
way up. Like at the old stadium, like he hit it up like
3/4
past the
of the way up.
walkway in the
Yeah.
upper deck. Yeah, it was it was ridiculous. And it was in the midst of Bonds just in his super, human seasons. And
I watch that Gagne at bat all the time. It's one of my favorite at bats I ever watched.
yeah, man. Yes.
Just foul off, pull, bomb.
Got him.
God, right?
I mean, Barry Bonds in those years, right? In like 01, 02, 03, 04, is still the most. I mean, obviously, I know I get everything else that goes with it. I get it. But like, it's the most dominant force in sports I've ever seen in my life. Like those years.
It don't even matter everything that goes along with it because I played with some guys that did everything that goes along with it and couldn't do that. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Still got to hit the ball,
that
man.
guy
You still got to hit the ball.
Man.
Yes.
That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
best
dude,
I've ever seen.
I gotta give you a couple, like, because they're ridiculous. So from 2004, this dude had a 609 on base percentage. 609. It's just absurd.
He's the only guy I've ever had in my career. My pitching coach is like, we're not going to throw this guy. The only one. Usually it's like, we're going to pitch, be careful. He's not going to hurt us. No, we're not even going to pitch this dude. Ain't no being careful, nothing.
I only faced him one time in the All-Star game. I never faced him in the
interleague?
I faced him with the Blue Jays, and and go figure, Karma's going to get AJ, right? So we're up there, and of course we go over before the game, so I knew it was going to happen anyway. So Bonds gets up. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So my ball four pitches were like 96, 95, 96. I was heated, man.
You didn't want to intentionally walk him. Yeah.
Well, I pitched against him in Florida, and I think he had a double off the wall, and then I punched him out. So, it was cool. I was able to get a K off of him. But I wanted to face him again because, I wanted to.
Yeah.
But sure enough, next at bat came around. I'm looking in the dugout, and there wasn't no force. I was like, oh, sick. Man, first pitch, dude, he hit a ball so hard, I think a brick fell out of that wall. Right field, dude. It wasn't a homer, but, dude, I was like, man, I was in the dugout. I was like, where's the ball four at, man?
Like, I never faced him, and I never wanted to. I didn't want that smoke, cuz, no.
Oh, man.
I love facing Griffey because, he's obviously my favorite player and stuff, but I didn't want that Barry Bonds smoke. Like, no chance. Like,
oh, man.
He got in the box at the All-Star game, and I literally said, there's nowhere I can throw this ball where he's not going to get 900 feet. He covered everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, him and McGuire were the only two people. Huh?
What do you do against
popped up the short.
Okay, very
popped
nice.
Up the short. But him and McGuire were the only two people where I felt like there's nowhere to throw the ball.
I was that way with Mark big time. I was the same
because
way
he
with
just
McGuire.
filled up. He was the only thing you saw when you looked at the plate. Like, he was massive. And
so big.
It was crazy, man.
Bro, he took me deep in spring training my rookie year. I think it's still going, bro. I think it's seriously. I went outside because So it was my first spring training, and we went out to batting practice. This day, my start, which it's Big Mac, bro. I want to go see Big Mac hit. I don't care. Yep. And so, sure enough, Rich Doobie's like, maybe you shouldn't be watching this. You pitching today, and he's hitting shit off the buildings, left and right. And he gets up, and I throw him a hammer, dude, and his knees buckle. And I throw him another hammer, and his knees buckle. I'm 0-2. I'm going to try to throw a heat, right? Whack-hack. And it was a dead center field, like 500 feet. And I get a slash play next half inning, So I, fake bunt, slash it, and I get the first. And I'm like, hey, man, I just got to say nice to meet you. He's like, nice to meet you too, kid, And I was like, how'd you know I was going to throw a heater there? He's like, man, I know you want a piece of Big Mac. And I was like, you ain't ever see another fastball ever again.
Man, you know what's crazy?
Hook.
That was the thing, though. You go out to watch him take BP. Like, when he came in interleague to Cleveland, we all stayed out and stayed in the dugout to watch him take BP. Like, everybody, people came early, but the whole other team sat in the dugout to watch him take BP.
Watch him, yeah.
Oh, I love this stuff, man. I love these stories. Can I give you one other ridiculous Bonds number from that year? So that 04 season, he was intentionally walked. Not just regular. He had 232 regular walks, okay? Which guys, don't crack 100 now. He was intentionally walked 120 times that year. Yeah. 120 intentional walks. The previous major league record was like 48 or something before he got intentionally walked 120 times.
He was
crazy.
Getting one pitch a game and going deep.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I felt like his eye at the plate, like you said, with everything going on and stuff, like his eye, like he would spit on so much stuff that was so close. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if because he was on the dish and he used that little bitty toothpick or what, but I mean, it was like if he didn't swing, it was a ball.
And it was like right out of the pitcher's hand. Like out of the pitcher's hand, he would be like unstrapping his shit to walk down the first base. You know what I'm saying? The guy's letting the ball go. He's doing like this and throwing shit down. Like it was unbelievable. Like his plate discipline and like what he knew was the ball and the strike right out of your hand. It was insane.
Man, it's crazy. AJ, I want to get some questions to you from people on Twitter, but one thing I want to go back to real quick. You had mentioned just real briefly before how, hey, Garrett is going to be fine in New York. You were with him in Pittsburgh at the beginning of his career. What makes you say that? Knowing, like, because he says it too, but what makes you just know from being his teammate, man, this guy, he's good with New York?
I think there's a certain belief that people can have in themselves and a certain confidence, and this cat's got them both, like, filled up, and he should. He's got the best shit on the mound. I'm a huge DeGrom fan. You know, I love watching him pitch.
Yeah.
But Cole's got some dirty stuff, and it's crazy because when he first came out in Pittsburgh, he couldn't get a swing and a miss. You know, we were just sitting in the dugout like, this dude's throwing hard. He didn't have a hook then. He had a slider. And he would have like 1 or 2 punch outs a game. And we're just like, who is this guy? You know? But he was such a student of the game. You know, he wouldn't leave me alone. You know, always in my ear, always trying to learn. Had me teaching him a curveball, you know, in Cincinnati in the cages underneath, you know, just constantly working on stuff to get better. And I was this way. I know, see, you were the same way. It didn't matter how good we threw. We weren't really content. We always could have done better. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I threw 7 strong, but, man, I could have went 8 easily and gave up like 2 hits. You know, I should have at least. I feel Cole's that way. You know, even when he dealt, he can look back at the game and be like, you know what, I could have been better. So next time out, I'm going to be better. And like I said, he's got some good stuff, and he's a confident young man. So
but most of the time when the guys are that confident and that belief in themselves, they don't work as hard as he does. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got all of that, and he works extremely hard, and he studies, and like it's the whole thing. It's not just, you know, he. I mean, obviously he has the belief in himself and he's confident and all that stuff, but he works to have that. You know what I'm saying?
He does, and that's why I said what I said, because you know everybody's asking me, you know, is he worth it? You know, I mean, how do you know anybody's worth it until they go out and pitch? Yeah. But he's gonna be just fine, you know, just because the way he handles himself. From his first pitch in Pittsburgh to when I saw him pitching in spring training in New York, or even in Houston, which was a joke. It's just he just keeps getting better. You know, I think he's one of those guys that it's going to end up being like, you know, we should say it to Roy when I just mentioned that he started cutting and sinking to both sides of the plate, which he never did before. You saw a great get better. And I think it might be one of those situations where you're going to see this kid who's got great stuff just keep getting better.
For sure.
All right, a couple Twitter questions for you, AJ. This has been great. Amazing stories. We love it, man. Mike DeLuca says, what's the biggest lesson you learned from playing in New York, and did you miss New York once you weren't there?
I miss the guys. I miss the city. I did. You know, I ain't going to lie. I struggled. Everybody knows that. But I took the ball every 5 days, and I didn't make excuses about it. And I think the people in New York realize that. Did I pitch up to 85, you know, with my contract? Hell no. I'll tell you right now I didn't. But I took the ball, and that was my job, and did the best I could. And I did miss from the gate, you know, from getting the call. You know, Cash called me and let me know, CC and the guys. You know, my last 2 years in New York were tough, but those dudes in the locker room were amazing to me, you know, and never changed one bit, no matter if I dealt or I didn't. But then as soon as I got to the black and yellow, when I had all those kids looking up to me, I would not have been able to do what I did there without going through what I did in New York, 100%. You know, and I wouldn't have. I felt like, you know, it was one of those situations where I learned what I need to do to pitch and what amount of pressure I need to put on myself, and that it ain't the end of the world, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I just learned so much about who AJ was in those 3 years that definitely would not have been able to end my career the way without being in New York.
It's an awesome answer, man. And this is from Peter Coquelet, who says he's a high school pitcher himself. And this is for both of you, what was your high school workout routine like, And, just for pitching / overall, what did it look like?
Oh, go ahead,
I'll let you answer that because I didn't have nothing. I didn't have
Nothing? Peter's a young stud. He's looking for some guidance, man.
I played 3 sports only so I didn't have to work out. Like I played football and basketball, and it all rolled into each other. And I never wanted to run as a pitcher, so I played basketball. So no, I mean I just played sports. Like I didn't have any kind of routine workout anything until I got to the Indians with Carl Willis, and he taught me how to be a pitcher. So no, I mean I just kind of winged it, to be honest. I
wish I could help him too, man. I wish I could help him, but I can't. I pitched 4 games my senior year, man. I played third base and hit like 13 jacks. So I thought I was going to junior college to play third base, to be honest with you. And then I got signed by New York, and like same thing with you. I learned 3-4 years of my minor league career how to work and how to pitch. So
what would be something
I wish I had a routine now to tell them about, but I was looking forward to dropping bombs. I wasn't pitching.
For sure.
Well, how about now you got Lil C who's starting to pitch a little bit. Yeah. So what would you say now?
He works extremely hard. Like obviously he's starting to pitch now. He does a lot of band work. He does a little bit of the drive line. We just take a little bit of everything that we like and just apply it to him. Like he's a big kid. I'm trying to get his legs stronger. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to build from the ground up. So, do as try to get your legs as strong as possible, squats, lunges, all of that stuff. Make sure you work on your balance and just kind of go from the ground up. That's what we're doing with him.
Nice. I like what you said there about taking some things from here and there and putting them all. You got to figure out who you are also. Like you mentioned the runners. Like I was a huge runner once I started playing, and I couldn't. I mean, I could, but my arm didn't feel the same if I didn't condition and flush my stuff out. So definitely figure out who you are and then build from there. Like C was saying, take things from everybody you hear or listen to them, but take the things that apply to you. And I think you'll be able to build a routine.
For sure.
Awesome stuff, AJ. This was terrific, man. We got to do it again sometime. You were
not going
excellent.
nowhere. We can do it for another 3 hours.
I know, right?
I'm just getting down the shop. It's better than me down there cussing, getting mad at shit because I can't do nothing, acting like a mechanic and shit down there. But no, I'm glad, man. I enjoyed it. Definitely, anytime y'all want to rap again, I'm game, man.
Nah, for sure. We got to get everybody on, like you, D-Rob, Gardy, Hughes. Like we got to do a big one. That'd be fun, man.
That would be fun, man.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
you could do it with Zoom now.
We get Swish on. Like we all hung out a lot in 2009 and got to know each other real well. Our families know each other, so that'd be real fun.
Yeah, we were neighbors, man.
Yeah, we were. We had the best 4th of July party ever.
This day.
It was dangerous as fuck.
I still don't know how the hell we didn't. I mean, thank God we were Yankees, man, right?
Oh, my God. We all could have went to jail, cuz. I just remember Gardy running back and forth everywhere and lighting up the fireworks, bro. It was crazy.
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
This was in what year?
This is 09.
This is 09.
Oh,
we put on a display, man. I think C bought like 6G worth of fireworks. I don't remember what it was. It was enough to set fire to everything.
It was insane, cuz.
It was like, it was crazy. It was, first of all, the whole yard in the back was like 20 feet of just smoke. And above that was just, I think we recorded it. See, I think it was like 2 minutes and 45 seconds of pure mayhem.
Yeah, shit was crazy.
And then all you see in the shadows is Gardy running, sliding,
and
running, sliding, running, sliding. And then the one hit the porch. Remember the one hit the porch?
Yeah.
So we're doing. Did I turn these off?
No, you're good.
We got you. Good.
I don't know these things. I don't want to touch them.
AirPods, yeah.
Yeah, whatever they are. And then like right at the end of it, like our families was on the balcony. Yeah. And we were down lighting them up. And then one of them fell down somehow and shot right through like mamas with kids and
shoot.
Shut it down quick. They're like,
my Jaden, she was freaking out. She was going crazy. Like she had to be, she was 2 at the time. She was 3. She had just turned 3. And she was freaking out. It was crazy. It was insane, bro. We were out of our minds, bro. It was crazy.
It was awesome, though. No reason why we want to know now. I'm telling you, man.
And you live to tell the tale. And we're appreciative that you did. AJ, thank you, man. Thank you for joining R2C2, bro.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for having me, man. Great
Thanks,
to see
guys.
both of you. Love you, man. Great catching up.
For sure.
Get together when all this is done.
Yeah, we got to take a vacation for sure.
Amen. And for our audience, you know the deal. Rate, review, subscribe, listen. You can watch now too on Uninterrupted's YouTube page. Make sure you check it out, and we'll continue to bring you content every Thursday. Hope you're staying safe, staying healthy. Listen to AJ's shirt. Stay the F home. Be smart. Social distance. Wear those masks, and we'll all get through this together. Thank you again, AJ.
Thank you, guys.